latest episode of Senior Showcase, and we just take the opportunity to talk to an exceptional student every day from the class of 2020, and honored today to have Maiyah Devenport. How are you, Maiyah?
Good, how are you?
Great. I appreciate you taking time to do this. And you are the first person to do this interview Indian style from their floor. So if you get all cramped and your legs hurt,
Yeah,
no problem. So
just the most comfortable for me. So
yeah, I would last about 10 seconds doing that and I'll be done. So that is not going to happen. But Maiyah, if you wouldn't mind just sharing, introducing yourself and what you've been involved in at PR over the last 4 years.
Yeah, so I'm Maiyah. I'm a senior. I was a 4-year varsity swimmer. Other things I did was wrestling, GSA, musical, spring play, link crew, and Spanish club. So definitely been involved, and other things outside of the school, but just love the community. So
Awesome. Now, you went real quick through it. So if people don't realize, you wrestled.
yeah.
So tell me about that, because obviously not the norm, right?
Yeah.
And tell me about that. Tell me how you felt, how you got involved in that, and how did your fellow teammates respond to you?
Well, when I was really little, I did karate for quite a while, and then in 2012, I had to have a minor heart surgery, and my mom was basically like, "You got to pick a sport. Like, you gotta," because at that point, I was doing, I was swimming, I was doing karate, which it was MMA actually. MMA, I was doing piano lessons, I was in Girl Scouts. So my mom was like, "You have to get rid of the sport because like your heart, like you just got to calm down for a little bit." And so at the time I decided like we have to bunk out karate because that was what was like most stressful. So we did that, and then we moved here in 8th grade, and
Where'd you move from?
Texas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I lived there my whole life. And then like my sophomore year, in Texas, it's actually a lot more popular for girls wrestling. So a couple of my friends back home had started doing it, and I was like, that kind of sounds like fun. Like a couple of the girls I had done MMA with and such. And so I decided my sophomore year just to do it. And I only did it for sophomore and junior year. And then I managed my senior year. So
that's awesome. Well, and there's a reason why you managed your senior year. So do you care to share with everyone why you switched to managing?
I'll be on the rowing team next year for Eastern, so I just didn't want to get hurt right before I go away next year, and I'm on another team. So
and that's Eastern Michigan.
Yeah.
Correct. Got it.
Yeah.
Now, how did the rowing scholarship come about? How did you get go down that path?
So I knew like going in, I actually toured like 15 schools. I applied like everywhere. I was determined to find like my place. And I knew I wanted to be like in a sport. I wanted to be a part of the team. So like any recruiting website I could get my hands on, I was sending stuff out. I probably sent out about 80 different emails to just swim coaches and water polo teams just because like I wanted to do something. I wanted to be a part of that community again. And, they found the coach at Eastern Michigan found my name. She saw that I swam and I wrestled. So they reached out. I did a visit. Everything was great. I absolutely loved the campus. And they loved the fact that, I've swam my whole life, so I can do a sport that's repetitive on hours on end. I'm comfortable in the water. Wrestling, meaning I am willing to try new things. And then also I was in weights with Peck for most of my high school. So lifting experience was nice. So, and then like a week after that, I got my offer and signed my NLI. So, yeah.
Oh, that is awesome. Now, tell me about your swimming career. Now, that was part of the co-op team, and that is under Central's flag or PR's
It's
flag? I don't
South
remember.
now.
Oh, it's South? Okay, got
Yeah.
it. All
My
right.
freshman year, we were under Central, and then we got a new coach my sophomore year, and then we were under South.
Okay. Now, what were your events? What did you swim when you were on the swim team?
Just about everything. I switched around all 4 years.
Now,
But
what was your favorite?
this year I favored towards the 50 free, and the 100 back, but that's about it. I know I've swam for 14 years, so I literally just love the sport. And
Well, coming from Texas in the summer, you definitely want to be in the water because of the heat, right? So,
yeah, in Texas, every single neighborhood has a swim team during the summer.
is that
And
right?
so, like, as soon as you can walk, yeah, as soon as you can walk, they just throw you in the water. And
Now, where in Texas did you grow up?
just outside Houston, like 15 minutes from the city.
Okay. Okay. Now, what did you look at any schools to attend down in Texas? Was there a hope to kind of go back home, or you consider yourself a Midwestern girl now?
I really thought about it just because both my parents went to the same Houston. But the in out of state tuition down there is crazy. They really take care of their own. So I mostly just looked at Midwest schools.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Now, when you kind of look back on your senior year while you're at school, what are some of the most memorable times that you'll 10 years from now look back on and go, oh, I love that?
Definitely like swim practice, Saturday swim meets, and then like musical season's always fun. So spending the whole day at the school and all that kind of stuff.
Now, what was the musical that you were in this past year? What was the last one?
Crazy for You.
Yeah, and then what was your involvement in that?
I've been on sound crew all 4 years, so.
Great. Now, what made you gravitate towards sound crew? Is that just something you've had fun doing?
Yeah, when I was younger, I used to make like those iMovie things, and I don't know, I've always loved being like behind the scenes. And it was, when I was little, it was just a joke, but like, and then my freshman year, everyone was joining musicals. I was like, okay, like I gotta try something. And at the time, I was like, I don't have time to do cast, so I ended up just doing musical and spring play for sound crew all 4 years, and I absolutely
Awesome.
love it.
Terrific. Now, with that being said, what are you going to look to major in college?
Special ed.
Oh, why'd you pick special ed?
So actually, I was born a couple months early, so I was in the NICU for a long time. I was on a ventilator, everything. I had bleeding in the back of my brain, all that kind of jazz. And I don't know, I've always volunteered at Gigi's Playhouse, which is a Down Syndrome Achievement Center. Yeah. And time really just disappears when I'm there, and I absolutely adore being with those kids. So I knew that I just had to go do something with that.
That's awesome. Tell me about your time at the Playhouse, what you do and how often you volunteer.
So I help out with the kids club. I go, it's only once a month, but I go as much as I can because I actually, my more focus, I'm at the Crystal Lake Food Pantry. I'm on the board of directors there. And so most of my time spent volunteering is there, but when I'm able to, I go over to Gigi's, and we, we play games, we cook food, we have dance parties. I don't know, it's really good fun.
Where did the servant heart come from? You seem to have this servant heart. What would you attribute that to? And share with everyone, because I am aware that you did something last week and involving the food pantry, and tell me about your involvement there and what you did.
So I'll go back to how I started. My mom always there was like a association we were involved in Texas. I don't remember what it was called. Basically you volunteered every day. You racked up volunteer hours as much as you could, and I remember being like 10 years old helping out at bingo and just all that kind of stuff. So me and my mom have always just went and volunteered on the weekends for fun, that kind of stuff. So, and then this past week, I love going to the food pantry as well. But I haven't been able to go that much just because of like online school, and all the slots are actually filled up right now to volunteer because no one has anything to do, so they're going over there. So I figured to do like a little mini food drive where it was like no contact. So we actually ended up collecting almost 300 pounds of food.
Wow.
And donated it a couple of days ago. So it was really nice to go and drop all that off.
That's terrific. Now, it seems like your family's involved in volunteering. Tell me about your family. What's the makeup of your family, and if you want to introduce them a little bit?
So it's actually just me and my parents. I'm an only child. So there's my mom, and then we have 2 cats and a dog. So.
And what are your parents and the cat and dog's name?
My mom's name is Miranda. My dad's name is Daryl, and then we have a puppy. His name is Patterson. And then we have the cats Nermal and Garfield.
Now, what kind of dog is Patterson?
Yes. We got him.
I bet you got him from a rescue.
Yeah.
Okay,
we got him from
there's a surprise.
Yeah. He came from a no-kill shelter. They got him from this shelter in Alabama that was just really rough. So he's a spaz. We absolutely adore him. He's only like 7 months old now, so definitely crazy though.
And I'm guessing that when you go away, and you already got, I see a big, the M, but it happens to be in the same color as Eastern Michigan. Is that by accident or just worked out that way, your green M there?
That's more of a teal. That's actually from my godmother, but I do have the flag up here.
Oh, look at that. She's got the spirit going.
So love that, but I actually love the color, so it just kind of lucked out that we were green.
Now, I know that there's some other alums from PR that are at Eastern Michigan. Have you had a chance to connect or talk with anyone or about the school?
I know Otto said that if I needed anything to reach out, but not really. The people there have been so nice and literally answer any question I need, so I've really needed to ask. And then my future team, everybody in my grade, we already have like a group chat. So any question we have regarding like getting signed up, we all just kind of text each other. So. Oh,
fun. Now, so you've met everyone on the crew team then, right? Or is it crew officially, or is it rowing? What do they call it?
It's both.
Okay.
I think more slang. I've never rowed before, so.
Okay. And are you nervous about that because it's a new endeavor?
Not really. As someone who's moved, tried new sports, done, I don't know. I try to do whatever I can, so. I love trying new things, so I'm excited more than anything.
Well, then when you look back, because it seems like you had great spirit of perseverance. Yeah. What happened this past semester? What have you learned about yourself in that process?
I'm learning that I'm a lot more social than I thought I was. I thought I was a big introvert, but turns out I actually love being around people, so I'm going a little crazy. And that I snack a lot.
Now, what have you done to scratch that being social itch? How have you been connecting with your friends and classmates?
My rowing group has actually met on Zoom. And then for prom night, we all got on here, like my prom table, we all met on here, got dressed up, hung out for a couple hours. Me and my friend, or I held a drive-in bingo, so a couple of my friends came over and they all stayed in their cars, and I called out numbers, and the winners got little $5 gift cards, and yeah.
Oh, that's fun. So So you had your prom table already set. You already knew this was our table. Was it 10 people?
We actually had 14, so, but not everyone made the Zoom. So it actually ended up being about 10 people on the call.
Oh, well, that's fun. And everyone dressed up and already had their, dresses or tuxes or whatever they had.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I put my dress on. My date, he had his, I think he actually put his acapella tux on because the guys didn't have theirs yet. But yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Wow. So you've really made the most of this. Now, what has become, is there like a Devenport new tradition that's come out of the quarantine with your family, with your mom and dad?
Um, Not really. We normally already eat like dinner together. We're a pretty tight knit group just because there's only the three of us. Um, I mean, we've been playing a lot of Mario Kart
All
together.
right. And this is your chance. Who's better, mom or dad?
It really depends. They're kind of tied. So like my mom's definitely better at Super Smash Bros, but I think my dad might be a little better at Mario Kart.
And are they even close to keeping up with you?
No, because we actually just got it, so they don't. They're learning though. They're catching up pretty quick. It's kind of scary.
When you look back over your 4 years at PR, what is there a faculty member, coach, administrator, someone or a couple people that have kind of had a special place in your heart that have really impacted you over that time?
It's gonna sound really weird, but actually, Mrs. Billimack was probably the one teacher that I've had for 4 years that has just stuck with me. And I had her for freshman English, and then I joined GSA at the time. And out of all my like clubs and stuff, that's the only one I've been in for like 4 years, and the like person leading it has never changed. And she's just always been that person I can go to when I'm having a rough day and be like, hey, this is what's wrong, or I can celebrate my victories with. And she also used to swim, so it was also nice to have like a teacher who kind of understood when I was like, oh, we have back-to-back meets. She kind of understood what that meant. So
Oh, that's awesome. Now, does she know how important she's played a role in your life?
I think so.
Well,
I don't know.
she will now.
Yeah, if she watches this.
Oh, I'll make sure that she sees it. So,
Okay. But yeah, not just her though. Like I feel like all the faculty at PR is so amazing. There's a lot of teachers I can just go to whenever I'm having a rough day, or just to go and say hi, and they're always just immediately like, "Oh my gosh, hi." Like definitely sweets.
oh, well, you've heard the phrase "once a wolf, always a wolf."
Mhm.
And now, as you're graduating, what kind of meaning does that have for you?
Um, I think once a wolf, always a wolf. I feel like the wolf pack is definitely a community. And in order to get, that community, you have to put into the community. So as I continue on, I definitely will keep, joining things, keep volunteering, keep making friends, always making sure the people around me are supported too. So
That's awesome. Now, I don't want to gloss over because I realize, we know acronyms and what they mean, but when you kind of real quick said GSA, why don't you share with everyone what GSA is?
oh, it's just the PR's Gay Straight Alliance. So
Okay.
yeah.
And you said you've been involved with the group for 4 years?
Yep.
Oh, awesome. Um, have you had a chance to, I know you're talking about the swim team, have you had a chance to stay connected with people from the GSA group or from your friends or from wrestling, and what's that look like?
Well, most of my prom table was actually people from musical, so it was really it's been nice to talk to them and stuff. One of my best friends, she's from swimming, so I talked to her. My my freshman friend, her birthday was the other day, so she turned 15. So we all went to her house. She actually goes to South because it's a co-op. So we all went to her house at different times to decorate her driveway with chalk. Um, the food drive I did last week, it was also another swim team member's birthday, and she helped get some food for us. So that was really nice. So I think we've all been just kind of like a sense of community, making sure, checking up on each other and all that.
You brought up food and that you're snacking a lot.
Yeah.
Are you snacking, or have you taken up cooking, or have there been favorite takeout places, or all the above?
I think all of the above.
All right. Well, let's break that down a little bit. Then, what's been the new cooking sensation for you, or something that you've learned to do?
I learned how to make crepes. I learned that all the girls I'll be rooming with next year know how to bake, and I felt really left out because I'm not a very good baker. So I thought I would start focusing on breakfast foods for the apartment. So we've been making like pancakes, crepes, all that kind of stuff.
Now, are you fruit-filled, cheese-filled? How you doing the crepes, or you just wrap them and put stuff on them?
Either fruit, or it's just gonna sound really weird, but like jelly for like peanut butter jelly sandwiches, whichever we have available.
Oh yeah, no, I get that.
So
it's better because it sticks to the crepe.
yeah, exactly.
You don't have it running out. All right, and then on the takeout side, what have been some of your favorite go-tos for takeout for your family?
Definitely Chick-fil-A.
Oh, is that right?
We're already a huge Chick-fil-A fan. Like, all my friends make fun of me because we have this giant bin in our pantry of just the sauces.
You're collecting Chick-fil-A sauces. We'll make sure so if Mr. Willis, who owns that, runs short, we'll tell him to go over to your house to get extra.
Maybe. Yeah, we keep like, just, if we make chicken at home, we make sure to always have like, some Chick-fil-A sauce on the side. So.
Oh, definitely. I hear you. You said that you already know who your roommates are. So when you're going to be at Eastern, are you staying with fellow row team members, athletes? What kind of arrangement, or have you already figured out who your roommates are going to be?
So yes and no. We applied for housing yesterday, actually just before our internet crashed. And then, so basically, as an athlete, we get put in like upperclassmen housing.
Sure.
So I will be in an apartment with 8 girls with similar schedules. So I think they said they normally put like rowing, swimming, and basketball together because we're up early. I don't know.
Okay. No, that makes sense. So you've already met who your roommates are going to be?
I haven't, but I know all the girls that I'll be rowing with next year, so I'm assuming at least one will be in there. We applied yesterday, and then our coach has to go in and key it in different because we're not in freshman housing.
Sure.
So it takes a little bit longer for us. So.
Now, is there people from around the country there? A lot of Michiganders, or what's kind of the mix?
So most of the school is people from Michigan, but like just the rowing team, like my grade, we have me, we have a girl from Wisconsin, we have a girl from Virginia, Ohio, like everywhere. And then I know I've been talking to people like online, that kind of stuff. And I actually just found a girl from Texas. So that's actually why I texted her. I was like, no way. So yeah. And then every shape and sizes, a couple of us went to really big schools, and then a couple of us went to like little bitty schools. So it'll be interesting.
Sure. What are you going to miss most about not being at PR anymore?
Definitely my friends, the staff, the people.
Yeah, no, got it. So, okay, see, perfect. That was easy, right?
Yeah.
You did awesome. And you really should be proud of all the things that you're doing, because you know, a lot of students wouldn't take that up, and just, so it's a tribute to your family and kind of how they raised you with that, you know, volunteerness, and obviously it's something that you love a lot, and it'll be definitely cool. Are you? And probably, I'm sure your parents will be crushed taking their baby to school, and so I'm sure that will be hard. Your puppy and your cats are going to miss you, but it's definitely going to be an exciting time for. And you know what? You're not so far away that certain weekends you can't come home, and hopefully your parents will get out there. Do you guys? There's a local river you guys row on, or where's the typical rowing?
There's a lake.
Okay, so there's a typical lake where you guys have meets.
Yeah.
And then you'll be competing in the whole MAC conference as well. So you'll be going to Toledo and Northern and those. I don't know if Northern has a row team, but
we actually go a lot farther. I know I'll be on the East Coast a lot. And then I know at one point we go down to like Kansas. That's what my parents are gonna love, because they literally have not missed a single like game, meet, anything. They literally always are at my stuff.
Well, that'll be kind of hard, because I'm guessing you'll be rowing in the middle of the week sometimes too, right?
They'll make it. My parents are sometimes a little crazy, but
what's the season for ladies rowing?
So it's practically a year-round sport. I think the fall season is sprint season, and then the winter season is erg season. So actually we just bought one. This camera is actually propped up on my erg right now.
What's an erg?
It's like the rowing machines at the Y.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah. Just a little bit more fancy. And then so they do like an indoor rowing season, or winter season, and then spring season is like long distance, so like cross country.
Wow, so it is just like swimming. You're going to be going year round, and are you going to miss swimming in the pool?
Probably, but I mean the school has pools, so if I ever just need to go do a few laps, and I don't know. I always like swimming because it's just so quiet, and you know, nothing, like if you put your head in the water, like no one can disrupt you down there kind of thing. It's a little different rowing because you'll have the coxswain yelling at you, but it's just about the same. So
tell me about the Booster Club scholarship.
Oh, so it's just $1,000 for my first year at school. It was basically a scholarship asking like how are you involved other than your sport kind of thing. I think it was me, Tristan Vegas, I think you talked to him, right?
Yeah.
And then Ryan Fisk. So normally they just do one girl and one boy, but I think they picked two boys this time.
And I love that. Such a pretty spelling of your name. Is that, I've never, and again, it's not like I know a lot of Maiyahs, so I don't know what, is that a common one? Is there a lot of people that spell it that way? No?
So my mom just in high school knew she wanted a daughter named Maiyah. That's literally all she didn't care how it was spelled or anything. And then she told my dad that once they had me, he got to pick the spelling. So he was actually like looking up the name, and he found this Siamese show cat named Maiyah, and it was spelled like this. And then, but my across the street neighbor, her name is Yasmin. She says from her country that's a popular spelling, so I don't.
Really? Okay.
I have no idea.
But you've never seen it in the U.S. spelled that way. No, but it's very unique. It's very cool. So, well, I really appreciate your time. And I will tell you the one thing that comes out from you, and it's terrific, is just you've got a huge heart. And just from wanting to help the kids, to going into special ed, to everything that you're doing, you're concerned with having others come and play bingo in your driveway. I mean, it's just, that's an awesome attribute, and what a great example you are to your fellow classmates. So just thank you for that and keep that up. It's awesome.
Thank you for doing this. This is kind of awesome.
No, my pleasure. So thanks again.
Yeah.